Okay, the mark of the beast is a technology. It is Sumerian technology, to be precise. This technology changes ownership and therefore control of those who take it. It will change ownership of God's children from being God's to being Satan's. The mark of the beast is a thieving technology, like it says in John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. So this technology is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But Jesus in the same John 10:10 says, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. Okay, now what will it actually look like at the implementation, this mark of the beast? I am still working on it. I am not thoroughly sure. I haven't seen anybody who's kind of sure what it will look like. But fundamentally, it is a technology or an application that changes control and ownership. Control and ownership, CO. Yes, the click and open. It is a hacking technology, hacking humans. This was started in Sumeria. Sumeria is touted as the oldest civilization. I believe that this technology was introduced by the fallen angel Ariel. Civilization is evil. It is fake. It is fake light, trying, attempting, despising God's creation, mocking God, trying to better God's creation. These rebellious fallen angels were trying to better God's creation. They created a fake and false grid, yes. When this grid that they created is turned off, many people will wish they lived in those African villages where people still live as God intended them to. And I know they've kind of ruined this in the public eye by engineered poverty and disease. But once this light is turned off, this fake light, if you don't have Christ, you'll be in the dark forever. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to provide more information on the mark of the beast, which I've talked about before. But this information came to me recently with a copyright symbol, and that's what I'm going to be talking about here. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the Divine Platform. All I do here is for the edification of the Most High and for the restoration of His kingdom. And yes, I can do all these things through Christ, which strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. And may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. That's Psalm 19:14. So this is also a second take on this video, and if there's any errors, I'll still post it because I need to push this information out. So, okay, in line with the videos that I did showing what the beast is, the ape, more specifically the chimpanzee and the orangutan, when I did the mark of the beast, I will provide additional information here using this copyright symbol and other current information in the media. As we know, whenever they post something in the media, whenever they publish it, it's a ritual and it's always pointing us to something. It's kind of like it's hidden in plain sight, like an open secret. You just have to look and you'll see. But anyway, they're in ritual overdrive, so they're just going on with these rituals. They can't hide anymore. The veil is thinning, you know. So this mark of the beast, already we can see it's a C in an O. And I say the orangutan, O for orangutan, and C for chimpanzee. I say that the specific beast is the orangutan. Additionally, the chimpanzee, but generally it's the apes. Okay. And I said that in this video, mark of the beast, which is the beast. So please watch that. Trump is the one who is doing the heavy lifting in setting up the stage for the mark of the beast. He's doing the, I don't want to say dirty work because they're all doing dirty work, but he is the one who is doing everything to make sure that the stage is set for the one who will force the mark of the beast. And you know, the one who will force the mark of the beast has to be for that to be effective, it has to be somebody who's not dirtying their hands, somebody whose perception by the public is positive. So Trump is setting the stage ready for the implementation of the mark of the beast when the time comes, which is coming, and this time is coming up soon. Like I said, I've shown this in my previous video. Which one was it? The one that I just did. Anyway, I've shown in that the tetrarchs, shown that Trump is playing two roles. First role, John the Baptist, as one who's preparing the way, but he's preparing the way for number 44. You know, because he is also playing the role, Trump, of the Antichrist. You know, and this image here confirms that he's playing that role. When he posts this, and this post came up after, just soon after I had done my video on Mark of the Beast and identified the ape as the beast. And then he posts this video, or this, he posts this picture on Truth Social. He was cluing the public on what he has been working on and for whom. It is clearly pointing to the mark of the beast. And if you doubted that that is the case, you need to watch the video that I did on Mark of the Beast. It is not a coincidence that after I published what the beast is, he posted this. Okay? And I don't know what to say. The apes, what they are telling us is that they are going to seek to mess with the human genome. Okay, humans have a pair of 23 chromosomes, which makes it a total of 46. Apes, primates, have a pair of 24, which makes it 48. So it is my assertion based on my study and research that what they're trying to do is to turn man into ape. But anyways, I'll show you that again. But Trump posting this video was pointing to people who is in charge of implementing the mark of the beast. And we still don't know what the mark is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it has something to do with these people here, just based on this video. And I put this stuff together for this video, I want to say maybe beginning of April, but I just haven't had time to put it out. But today, this is April 23rd when I'm doing this. I saw the polls, and Trump is polling very, very poorly, even with the conservatives on Fox News. You know, they tend to favor him. And this is why we know that Obama is the one who makes people take the mark, because he remains the most favorable of all presidents still living. Okay, and like I said, this is a Fox Gallup. So even Fox itself acknowledges this fact. It is for this reason that the Obamas institute this mark. It has been planned this way, and it is unlikely that he's going to drop from the ratings. Because here we have Barack Obama at 59, then George Bush at 52, Bill Clinton at 48, and Donald Trump at 46. And as I'm doing this video April the 23rd, I think his rating has dropped to 33. And then of course the robot is at 39%. And it's so sad, Trump already published that he's a FAFO, you know, F around and find out. And we still have people who are still thinking he's the big hunchhole. And he's literally just, I don't know, use the S word, CREW. He's just doing that over them over, and like the die-hard bigots are still following him unto death. They're going to jump off the cliff with him. But anyways, I just put this here to show why this is the person who forces people to take the mark of the beast based on his ratings up to today. But let's look at how this has been planned. This is the MAGA hat. We have 45-47. So what's missing here is 46, and like this 46, like I already said, that the human has 46 chromosomes in total. So this can be said, or can be said to be the number of man. So either 23 or 46. So 23 times 2 or 46. And him having this blank here is almost a mockery. It's literally a mockery. It's telling us that there is no 46. This is a ritual, like destroying or eliminating man. It's kind of a mockery unto God. It's kind of a jab at God. Their plan is to destroy his kingdom and maybe even him, which they cannot do. But they'll not stop trying. But having this heart with no number 46 is mocking God and his creation, because we are made in God's image. Yeah. And during that 46, during Biden's presidency, I truly believe it was Obama and Trump running the show, because it's pretty much clear that that was probably a cyborg or a robot. It was just the image was shown. Well, yeah, I believe both 23andMe, they were running the show. That's Obama and Trump. And one other thing is that the 23rd president was the last same number pairing. What do I mean by this? The 23rd president was also the 23rd person to be president. That was Benjamin Harrison. So 23rd person, Benjamin Harrison. 23rd president, Benjamin Harrison. But after that, it is always off by one number. So where the 24th person was the the 24th person was the 25th president, and so forth and so on, until we have the 43rd person being the 44th president. And now with Trump, we have the 44th person being the 45th president. Am I confusing? 43rd, 44th? Anyway, it's off one by one number. So like the 43rd person is the 44th president. The 44th person, yes, the 45th president. And they had to mess with the 46th, of course. Anyway, I'm saying all this to say that, to show that it is kind of them saying that that was the last true pairing. That was the last of humanity, so to speak. Because man is a pair of 23 and 23. So having the last true pairing of a 23rd person and 23rd president was kind of ending it there. That true pairing was never going to happen again. And of course, it's not going to happen again because they're going to mess with the genome of those who are not in Christ, or those who are desperate or ignorant or foolish enough to take this mark of the beast, this thieving technology. And interestingly, there's a time I was going through a lot, and God led me to the book of Psalms. So that is like my all-time bestie favorite book, is the book of Psalms. It has great prayer scriptures, just prayer, and it's going to be a good book to read during these end times. But since man is 23 times 2 chromosomes, I looked at this Psalm 23 and Psalm 46. And I think we all need to read them and kind of commit them to heart. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The Lord has to be your shepherd. Yeah? And as we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, which is coming, we should fear no evil, for he is with us. His rod and his staff comfort us. Okay? Please read the whole chapter, and then even the 46, read the whole thing. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Jacob's trouble, we will need the Lord. So I thought these two verses, the whole Bible is perfect, but these two verses kind of fit very well with what I'm talking about here. So, okay, next on this mark of the beast is the Epstein files. I have said it a million times. The spoken word is superior to the written word. The Epstein files are the Epstein files. It's about the mark of the beast. It's about the apes. It's about messing with technology. And I have not read those Epstein files, but I've just listened to snippets from people who've read them. And what I gather from what they say is that most of that Epstein, those files are talking about DNA manipulation and technology. So it's just about hacking humans and controlling humans, basically. So, and this is why they had this obsession with the primates, It had to mean something, and now we know why. So, what are the Epstein files? For those who don't know, these files were released in several phases, with a significant release occurring on January 30th, 2026, when the Department of Justice published over 3 million pages of documents, images, and videos. Prior to that, an initial batch of files was released on December 19th, 2025. You can Google the Epstein files. It's abhorrent what it talks about. I haven't read them, but I know enough to know that it's satanic. So let's break down this Epstein. Okay, an ape is a primate, and to ape is to mock and mimic, just like Satan. And also, ape is to show extreme anger. And I discuss about the ape a little bit in the Mark of the Beast video. Okay, and then let's look at the stain part. What is to stain? It is to discolor, to soil, to taint. Stigma is to stigmatize, essentially. What are synonyms? Is to degrade. So this job degrades you. You're no longer human. You're no longer a child of God. You're no longer godlike in the human sense, not fallen angel sense. It poisons you. It is sin. It is iniquity. This is the iniquity that will be found in you. If you take the mark of the beast, you will be branded, you will be contaminated, and you'll be stigmatized. It's a stigmata. You'll have a mark. Okay? So, and then let's look at the word stigma. It's an identifying mark or characteristic. It is also usually apical part of the pistil of a flower, which receives the pollen grains and on which they germinate. So it's like the fertilization part of a plant. Also, a stigma is a bodily mark or pain resembling the wounds of the crucified Jesus, and sometimes accompanying religious ecstasy. So it is a branding. It really cannot be any more clearer than this, if you ask me, just based on what I'm showing here. More on the stigma. The stigma, okay, let me say this. So the stigma is a part of a flower that receives pollen and is crucial for fertilization. So they're already, as we know, interfering with the ability to procreate. Already we know that is happening a lot. I mean, I see girls who are 20 years old struggling with fertility issues. I mean, you don't think that's a problem? I mean, I see young men, their sperm count is so low, they cannot get a woman pregnant. You see what they're trying to do? They're trying to destroy human. Because what ends up, people then have to go to these fertility clinics, and I'm not saying they're bad places to go to, but we just don't know what they're doing. The dishonesty, the deceit, the lies, we don't know what's going on. It's almost like getting a GMO seed. Now, when you go there, does it mean that your offspring will need to go there to collect their seed? It's like they're doing with the plants, you know? Because once you start using those seeds, they cannot reproduce. You have to keep on going to them to get a seed. So this is the mark of the beast technology. This is part of the technology that's trying to destroy humans. And the sure way to destroy humans is to make sure that they cannot reproduce. And this is part of what they're trying to do. Okay, now here again, I'm going to talk about the word stigma. In Swahili, electricity or power is called stima, and this sounds similar, homophone or cognate with stigma. So to me, this is clearly indicating is that there's a connection between the power and this mark of the beast. Once you're branded, you'll be connected to the power grid. Okay, and then they'll be able to control you that way. Yeah. They will even be able to shut off your speech if they want to reduce you more. You know, they'll taking the mark will itself by itself will interfere with your will and ability to even express yourself. But if it doesn't, they will shut it off because you'll be hooked to the grid. So whenever you want to speak something, they'll just shut you off, like shut up, you know. We cannot, we have to be careful. We've been warned by many people. I am warning you again. Okay, and then one other thing is to steam. So these words just building on each other: stigma, then steamer, and there's many other words you can if you research, and you can see, you'll find that they're all related in some way or another. Then we have to steam. What is to steam? It's a self-stimulatory behavior that is marked by a repetitive action or movement of the body, such as tapping objects or the ears, snapping the fingers, blinking the eyes, and is typically associated with certain conditions such as autism spectrum disorder. And this disorder has skyrocketed in numbers. It affects males more than female. I am telling you, this is not a coincidence that even RFK and Trump spoke about this when they were saying that what causes it is paracetamol. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. I think this is all their design falling in place. Okay? And that's like a crude dry run of the mark of the beast. Your speech will be taken away. You'll be like animals. You've seen what these chimpanzees do in the cages. If you can Google, you can YouTube, and you'll see it. They will have this steaming behavior where they're just jumping around and, you know, just doing the same thing, running around and jumping, running around and jumping, and playing with poop. They keep on patting their face like a zillion times. And I'm from Kenya, so I've seen this a lot because we have them in the zoos. Well, we don't call them that, but we have them a lot in the zoos and the orphanages, and they're like tourist attraction, and they're just doing all these things all the time, like steaming behavior, tapping their faces and running around, tapping their faces and running around, and throwing poop at you. And people think that's cool to watch. Honestly, when I was a kid, I thought it was cool, but now I know what's going on. I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy. Anyway, so when they have movies like this, Planet of the Apes, Archive of the Apes, it's not, well, it's a distraction, but it's not a distraction. They're pointing us to what they're doing. all that they're doing is a distraction, but within that distraction, we can get a clue at what they're trying to do and get ahead of them. How do we get ahead of them? Prayer, living according to the biblical rules. Okay, so why apes? Like, I've been trying to rack my mind, trying to figure out why apes, where they're obsessed with the apes, with the primates, so to speak, And I have three theories about the apes. And please leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, let me know what you think, what you know. Okay, my first theory is Satan created to create human and failed and ended up with apes. That's my first theory. Okay, my second theory is that the apes are the fallen angels who are accursed. Like they were cursed and turned into apes. Okay. And my third theory is the apes are humans who took the jab. They turned into apes. I'm sorry. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I mean, with what we are going through now and what we know, it is the least ridiculous thing I've said, to be honest. So three theories: Satan created to create and failed, and then so he ended up with apes. Or second theory, the fallen angels were accursed, some of them, because there's a hierarchy, and the lower ranking ones maybe are turned into apes. And then my third theory is that the primates, not just apes, the primates might be those who took the jab. They were human like us. They took the jab and they turned to that. And I know people might argue, no, how that's going to happen only once. But we know that the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. And I believe this has happened before. But now, what I also know is that we are in the absolute end of time. So there were other ends of time, like when some people call them reset moments. I don't call them that. They were just like redemption moments, like when God is trying to help us out. But it was not, it was the end of a period, but not the end of time. But this is the absolute end of time. So this devilish satanic stuff will never happen again. So yeah, I'm curious to know what other people think about those three theories, because this obsession with apes, with these people, I mean, they love apes. They try to humanize them. They have movies, they have TV shows. I mean, I used to watch Animal Kingdom, is it? Anyway, and they would just, the History Channel, just apes, primates. I don't think it's for nothing. I think it's because there's something to do with Satan and them. Okay, so now to the copyright mark. Again, the C is for chimpanzee, the O is for the orangutan. And the copyright symbol indicates that a work is protected by copyright. This is the ownership. Okay. It is used to inform others that copyright exists in the work and to identify the copyright owner. So, we were given a God, we have free will, we choose. And Satan the deceiver is going to try and get God's children to choose this mark. And once you do that, you're copyrighted and you're owned by that kingdom. Yeah. Copyright exists in the work. The exclusive legal right to produce, publish, sell, or distribute the matter and form of something. Okay, that's what the copyright. Those are the rights. If something is copyrighted, so they will decide what you do, when you do it, how you do it. You'll be all up in the, what do you call this, the smart cities. And honestly, sometimes I wonder, and I think I'm right, with movies like Archive of the Apes, Planet of the Apes. I feel like there's some apes that are sequestered somewhere. It's like this aping, this mark of the beast is a cumulative effect that some have been turned into that and into the primates, and they're in a cave somewhere or underground somewhere, and that is how they can boldly talk about a planet of the apes, because how many would have to be for them to confidently say planet of the apes? Anyway, a copyright is a mark. People will be marked. They will have characteristics of the beast either by through literal injection of beast DNA or by chemical corruption of their own DNA. Okay. Sometimes I wonder what this MAGA means. Does it mean make apes great again or make America gorilla again? What does it mean? Please let me know. Or does it mean man, ape? I don't know. I think it has a meaning, a true meaning that we have not found out. There's other meanings, but which fit. But I think there's a true meaning that we have not found out. And some people say MAGA is the highest order in the satanic club or wizardry. I think it means something else other than that. Anyway, let's see. I'm almost done here. Yes. So the C and the O, we have the orangutan and the chimpanzee. Okay, the chimpanzee and the orangutan are apes, right? We know once you take the mark, you'll be under control and under ownership of what does this A stand for. I cannot figure out what that means, but I know it means something. So please leave in the comment section below what you think that A stands for. And then you'll be like an app where they can click and open the app. Yeah. Also, this OCA, orangutan, chimpanzee, ape, orca, sounds like Orca, the Prince of Wales, and I did that video. Remember that Prince of Wales video? I think people are reduced to animal regardless. We already know some people are running around with DNA from 10 different animals. Literally, people are running around with DNA from gazillion animals, So I think maybe some will eventually default to their primary DNA. When the veils falls off, I think we'll see that a lot of people are primates. They're not even human beings. And others are orcas and all sorts of abominable creatures that will make men faint for what they will see. Yeah. So bottom line, the mark will defile. It will defile. It will take you out of God's drawer, so to speak. Is it a drawer or a cabinet? The filing cabinet. You'll take the file out because you're desecrated. You'll be decommissioned from the service of God, the Creator. And that is why you can never make it to the kingdom once you take the mark of the beast. Okay, this was, I don't know if this is pushing it, but I don't think it is. So, chimpanzee orangutan is a 666 code. How in simple English gematria, I hope it's the correct one. C is 3, like ABC. C is the third letter and O is the 15th letter. And when you reduce 15, you get 6. So you get 3 6, yeah, or 3 6s. So this copyright symbol is the 666 sign. And the more I think about it, this horseshoe looking thing might be the mark of the beast. Okay, and then CO also. Like the O could mean this name. What does the C mean? Yeah? Please let us know in the comment section. Let me see. Based on the sound copyright, yeah, copyright can be read as copyright. So we know these are pirates. I've talked this in my earliest videos when I was doing Earth as a Ship, okay, and the words. What do pirates do? They steal, kill, and destroy. Pirates are thieves, yeah? Also, co-pirate, pirate, pyro is a root word, so we can expect a fire event with these people. And finally, co-pirate, pyrite is a gemstone, referred to as fool's gold. I don't know, what does that mean? Yes, I think I've come to the end of the video. Yeah, 23andMe, we are a reflection of God. 23 plus 23 is 46. So when you say 23andMe, it's like saying God and me. In simple gematria, okay, so the previous one was not simple English gematria, it was just a simple gematria. God equals to 26. God is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, so you can say 3 in 1 or 3. So 23 plus 3 equals to 26. So I don't know, I'm gonna get confused here if I start explaining this. So study this and see if it makes sense to you. 23 and me is 23, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. But when they do these things, when they use these names, these phrases, these expressions, these taglines, it's always in mockery. And honestly, for me, once they put something out, I just know the truth is behind that. If only we look, yeah? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And I shouldn't use that word, guys. Well, maybe some people watching are guises. They're guised as human beings, but they're apes and primates and orcas. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Questions, comments, suggestions are always welcome. If this resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Remember, all is truth. There can only be truth. Everything else is a distraction. Do not be distracted. Thank you. Thank you very much, and see you in the next. Thank you. Okay, this additional information here is about the number 46, and this information comes to me after I've completed the first part. So I just, it's quite short actually, so I just did a quick addition on here because I think it's important information. So, okay, life is in the blood, DNA and RNA is in the blood, and corrupting one's DNA is equivalent to slaying one. You know, like first John 3:12 when Cain slew Abel. So once they corrupt your DNA, it's like you're dead. You know, you're dead to God, and your DNA will be corrupted by this mark of the beast. So you will have no place in the kingdom. You will be dead to God. But so number 46 is the number of chromosomes in man, and the number 46 president was Robinette Biden. And if we look at his name, Robinette, the RBN is the same as in ribonucleic acid, which is the RNA. And what is RNA? It's the messenger RNA, which transmits genetic information from DNA to ribosomes for protein production. RNA is not only crucial for protein synthesis, but also plays roles in regulating gene expression and catalyzing biochemical reactions. It is essential for the functioning of all known forms of life. So basically, this is this compound is necessary for the coding, decoding, regulation, and expression of genes. So if they interfere with that, it's like you will not be able, or one will not be able to code, decode, regulate, and express the genes the way they're supposed to. So in essence, one will be dead to God. They'll be slain. They'll be dead to God. But this is important because number 46, whose picture is not in the White House, and then number 46 also equals to equals the number of chromosomes in man. So this was a whole big ritual that I didn't even catch on until like maybe this morning or yesterday really, and today is the 25th of April. Okay. So I honestly do not know exactly what the connection between Biden's name or the number 46 and 9/11 is, but I know that it is important to include it in this presentation as well. And if you know the meaning, please leave it in the comments section below. Does it mean that there's another 9/11 coming? 9/11 happened, the Twin Towers went down, and then I cannot quite, I know there's something, but I cannot quite find it. It's not coming to me yet, but this empty space here ties to this this picture. These are the pictures in the White House, where they have the pictures of all the presidents, but number 46, it's empty. They just have the outer pen here. So I'm just wondering what is the relationship between that empty space here as far as a picture of the president and this empty space between the twin towers. Anyway, so the 46th president, his name was Robinette Biden. I hope I spelled that correctly. Which is RB, Robinette Biden, RB. R is the 18th letter and B is the second letter. If you reduce R, you get 9 and then 2, so that's 9/11. Okay, 9/11 is generally the emergency number. 9/11 indicates an emergency like the 9/11 attacks in 2001. So, is there another 9/11 coming? I don't know, but I put this here because it ties into 46. Man is 46. 46 equals to 9/11. I mean, by inference, man is 46. Biden was the 46th president. So Biden equals to 46, but Biden equals to 9/11. So there's some real connection there, but leave comments below if you know what it is. Okay, so Biden was quite easily the most mocked president. So we can say 46 was quite easily the most mocked president. A mockery on 46, which is the human chromosome, the human genome, is a mockery on man, human, God's children. So these people hate man. Okay, Cain hates Abel. Satan hates God and his children. What is to mock is to treat with contempt, to ridicule, to deride, to defy, to challenge. So my point of this, when this man was, or this entity was mocked, it was a ritual for mocking man. Okay, Matthew 10:22, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. We shall be hated of men for my name's sake, the name or even the genome, because we are made in the image of God. So a mockery on 46 is a mockery on us. So the president number 46 was a whole big ritual against man, because we are the 46. Okay, another 46 here is the outer pen. The dystopian thought of hacking and remotely controlling humans is not like a far-flung science fiction story. Everyone knows that it is a reality, that humans are already grappling with this, being remotely controlled with these devices, all these wicked devices, really. So when they say that the number 46 president had an outer pen, like being remotely controlled by somebody else, Satan, I think that was number 44, if you ask me. President number 44, when they say that, it's tantamount to saying that man was being, or is, or will be remotely controlled once they take the mark. The goal of these evil entities is to control God's children and to actually take ownership of them completely. So everyone else, every other creation that masquerades as human beings, collateral damage. They don't care about those. They're just interested in God's children. So this autopen, which is remote controlled, I should have put that article here, but 46 was, Google it. He was like whatever he signed. In fact, I forgot. We need to look at what he signed with the autopen, because I guarantee you they point towards destroying man. So what's an automatic pen or autopen is a mechanical device used for the replicated signing of a human signature. Now let's read this carefully. What is human signature? It is the 46. It's the genome. So the replicated signing, what is that? It's the reproduction of that genome. But if it's reproduced in any other way other than the way sanctioned by God, that is defiled. That is a defiled product, and it's not human anymore. So really, that autopen, it's a mechanical device, it's a robotic device, it's an AI used for the replicated signing of a human signature. This is how you can read this. So given the similarity to the real hand signature, the use of, to the real, the way it's supposed to be, the use of an autopen allows for plausible deniability as to whether a famous autograph is real or reproduced. This is the singularity. When this, and we have these people walking among us, they've been reproduced in a certain way, and we can tell. It's hard for us to tell whether they're real or not. Okay. Yes, so that's still a mockery on human beings. So number 46 and the 46th president is when they had that autopen. They're telling us about their intention to remotely control human beings using AI. Okay. And yes, this is the next one. So this is the lineup of the pictures of the presidents in the White House. So we have number 40, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46 is empty. Then 47, who is currently now. So clearly 46 is not recognized. I mean, his picture is not there, so he's not recognized. But we know 46 is the human. So man is not recognized or acknowledged in their world. And, excuse me, this ritual they're doing is their goal. You know, they do these rituals. Witches, Satan, Lucifer, those entities never sleep. They never stop. They're always doing and acting and scheming and plotting and devising, you know. Yes, so what everything they do, everything is planned out, you know, towards their evil goals. So anyway, this being empty, clearly man is not recognized. 1 John 5:19, and we know that we are of God, and the whole wicked world lieth in wickedness. The whole world lieth in wickedness, yes. So they're just scheming, plotting, and planning to destroy God's creation, God's children. Clearly I spoke about this, but I'm going to repeat it again here. Man's code is missing. It's a ritual to eliminate, to destroy man. These people absolutely hate God's children. So 45 to 47, there is no man in their world. No, none. Okay. Yes, and this was an interesting catch. So Bush was born in 46. He was the 43rd president, and Trump was born in 46. He was the 45th and now the 47th, but he was the 45th president. So you can say that they are representing 46, you know, because both were born in 46. But having this number 44 in the middle of the 46s, To me, it's like saying that this man is going, or entity is going to come in between 46, is going to come in between man, human. He is going to divide man and insert himself amongst and in between man. He is going to insert, I don't know what of his is going to insert into man. And this is why I'm thinking whatever the mark of the beast is, it's probably something to do with his genome, which I don't know what it is. You cannot take that mark. Okay? Is he the destroyer? I think. What do you think? Please let me know what you think in the comment section. But this one comes between the two 46s. 46 is man, 46 is man. He inserts himself in the human genome. This is how I read this. Okay. Okay, this is it.